All right, so ready to dive into something new today.
Always up for a challenge. What are we tackling?
This time, we're going deep into the world of purchase planners.
Purchase planners. Sounds kind of specific.
Exactly. We've got stacks of info here, articles, career guides, you name it, all about purchase planners.
Okay, so what's the mission? What's so special about this role?
That's what we're going to find out. We're going to break it all down, see what it really takes to be a purchase planner.
All right, let's unpack this then. What exactly is a purchase planner? What do they actually do?
Well, on the surface, it sounds like they just hit order on a bunch of stuff companies need.
Kind of like the ultimate online shopper.
You could say that,
Mhm.
but it's way more complex than it sounds. It's not just about buying stuff. It's about making sure all the pieces and parts arrive the right place at the right time.
I'm starting to see the challenge here. It's like a giant puzzle, making sure everything synchronizes.
Exactly. It's like orchestrating a symphony of materials and goods. We actually have some info here from RoleCatcher. They describe it as ensuring a company has the right stuff at the right time.
So it's all about timing and precision. What does a typical day look like for a purchase planner then?
I'm curious about that too. Are they stuck in an office all day, or are we talking about being on the factory floor?
Good question. Imagine this. A company needs a constant flow of materials to create its products, right?
Makes sense. No materials, no products.
The purchase planner is that crucial link, making sure that flow never stops. They're managing those contracts with the suppliers, making sure the right amount of whatever material shows up exactly when it's needed.
Okay, so it's high pressure, got to be on top of things. But it sounds a little solitary, like they're just stuck in spreadsheets all day.
There's a lot of data analysis involved, that's for sure. In fact, the research you shared from RoleCatcher, it points out that a huge chunk, like 72%, relies on understanding production and processing.
Wow, 72%. That's a lot of number crunching.
It is. But here's the thing. It's not just about the numbers. It's also about people.
Oh, so there's a human element to it too.
Absolutely. Remember, they're the liaison between their company and the suppliers. Building those relationships, being able to communicate clearly, that's crucial for making sure everything runs smoothly.
So you need those people skills just as much as the analytical skills.
right.
It's just like a double whammy.
Exactly. RoleCatcher actually found that 66% of a purchase planner's job involves customer service, which really surprised me.
Wow, 66%. I wouldn't have guessed that. I'm seeing this role in a whole new light now. So it's demanding, requires a lot of different skills. But what about the environment?
Yeah, you're right. It sounds intense, but also kind of rewarding.
RoleCatcher did highlight good potential for growth and a decent salary, but what's the catch? Long hours, high stress.
Well, like any job, there are downsides. The research mentioned long hours are pretty common, pressure to meet those targets, and you constantly need to stay updated on what's happening in the market. Things change quickly.
Sounds like you need to be adaptable, always ready for the unexpected. So back to my earlier question about the work environment. Office or factory floor?
Think more spreadsheets and conference calls than hard hats. RoleCatcher paints a picture of a mostly office-based role.
Okay, so maybe not the most exciting environment.
But it does come with occasional travel, could be to visit suppliers, check out their facilities, or even attend industry events.
Okay, so there's a little bit of glamour thrown in.
Maybe not quite as glamorous as you might hope. Remember those long hours and tight deadlines?
Right. Those glamorous business trips are probably more work than anything.
Probably, but still there are perks.
True. So let's say someone listening is thinking, hey, this sounds pretty interesting, but how do I even get started? What would be a good first step towards a career as a purchase planner?
The research emphasizes the importance of real-world experience. Think internships, entry-level jobs in procurement departments, even volunteering for anything that involves purchasing.
Basically, anything that shows you've got some practical experience in the field.
Exactly. Demonstrate that you can walk the walk, not just talk the talk.
Makes sense. And speaking of walking the walk, RoleCatcher provided a nice breakdown of the different career stages, from junior level purchase planner all the way up to purchasing manager. It seems like there's a pretty clear path for moving up.
Absolutely. You usually start by assisting the more senior planners, getting a handle on things like keeping track of inventory, making sure deliveries are on time, keeping the ship running smoothly.
So starting with the basics, then working your way up.
Exactly. As you gain more experience, you might take on managing entire procurement processes, even get involved in choosing suppliers and negotiating contracts.
And at the top, as a manager, you're the one calling the shots, leading the team, and making those big decisions.
Exactly. There's a lot of room to grow and take on more responsibility as you progress in your career.
So we've talked about the experience side of things, but what about skills and knowledge? We touched on analytical thinking and those all-important people skills, but is there anything else that's crucial for success in this role?
Well, we talked about the numbers, right? And communication is key. But let's not forget about negotiation. You're always working with suppliers, trying to get those good deals for your company.
So being a skilled negotiator is a major asset.
Absolutely. It can make all the difference.
It's like you need to be a master strategist in the world of procurement. But beyond just experience and skills, what about certifications? RoleCatcher mentioned those too.
Yeah.
Are those a make or break kind of thing in this field?
They're not always a requirement to get your foot in the door, that's for sure. But having those certifications, it shows you're serious, dedicated to learning and growing in your career.
So it's like a bonus, gives you an edge over other candidates. What are some of the certifications that stand out in the purchase planner world?
Well, you've got your big ones, like the Certified Professional in Supply Management, CPSM for short.
Okay, CPSM, got it. What else?
And then there's the Certified Purchasing Manager, or CPM.
So CPSM, CPM, these are the MVPs of purchase planner certifications.
Exactly. They cover a wide range of topics, really dive deep into procurement and supply chain management. Having those on your resume, it's definitely going to turn some heads.
Makes sense. It's like a signal to employers that you're not messing around. So let's say someone's feeling confident, ready to polish up that resume, start applying to those purchase planner positions. We've got a whole stack of interview tips here from RoleCatcher. What should people really be focusing on to nail those interviews?
One thing that really jumped out at me was the importance of being prepared for anything.
Okay, so be ready to think on your feet.
Well, yes, but more specifically, be ready for those technical questions.
Like, what's your experience with this specific software? Or how do you handle a shipment delay?
Exactly. But then they're also going to hit you with those behavioral questions.
Those are the ones that trip everyone up. What exactly are they trying to figure out with those?
We want to see how you think, how you problem solve when things get tough, how you handle the pressure, and most importantly, how well you're going to fit in with their company culture.
It's like they're looking for the whole package, the technical skills plus the right personality.
Exactly. You could be a whiz with spreadsheets, but if you can't communicate effectively or be a team player, it's not going to work.
It's all about balance.
RoleCatcher actually gives a great example of a typical behavioral question. Tell me about a time you dealt with a difficult supplier.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I bet those situations can get pretty hairy. What are they looking for when they ask a question like that?
They want to know how you handle conflict. Can you stay calm under pressure? Can you find solutions without burning bridges?
It's all about showing that you can navigate those tricky situations and maintain those all-important relationships.
Precisely. And, while we're on the topic of navigating the job search process, one thing that I found really interesting in all the materials you shared was RoleCatcher's set of tools.
Okay, tell me more about these tools because this sounds right up our alley.
Imagine this. You've got this AI assistant that analyzes job descriptions, figures out exactly what skills and experience employers are looking for, and then tells you how well your resume matches up.
Wow, that's like having a secret weapon for your job search. No more second guessing if your resume is hitting the mark. It's like having a personal headhunter in your pocket.
Right. No more blindly sending out resumes and hoping for the best.
So, with all this in mind, if we had to boil everything we've learned down to one key takeaway for aspiring purchase planners, what would it be?
That's a tough one. I think the biggest thing is that this isn't your typical desk job. It's fast-paced, it's ever-changing, you're constantly learning and adapting.
And you need that unique mix of skills, right? The analytical side, the people skills, and don't forget the art of the deal.
Absolutely. You've got to love a good spreadsheet, but also be able to connect with people, build those relationships. It's a challenging but rewarding role, that's for sure.
We've definitely uncovered that much today. From deciphering spreadsheets to negotiating deals, it seems like purchase planners are the unsung heroes of the business world.
I'd say so. They're the ones keeping those supply chains moving and grooving.
Making sure we all have those products we know and love delivered right to our doorstep. Well, on that note, I think we've covered a ton of ground today.
We've gone deep.
For sure. Big thanks to RoleCatcher for all the insightful information. And to you, our listeners, for joining us on this deep dive into the world of purchase planners. Until next time.